Okay, welcome to September training, folks. We're going to be doing forcible entry this month, and we just want to cover the safety considerations first before we start into showing you the evolutions of the inward opening door and the outward opening doors. So the minimum PPE for these evolutions will be your helmet, gloves, bunker pants and boots, and safety glasses or visor. For communication, the person on the Halligan tool is in charge of the evolution and gives the directions. And those directions will consist of the commands set, strike, and stop. So the person on the axe will follow the direction of the person on the Halligan tool directing the entry. Ensure the commands are loud, quick, and clear to avoid any confusion between the team doing the operation. And the technique, just talking a few pointers on the techniques for the use of the tool. The person on the Halligan tool always keeps your hands on the handle or the shaft of the bar, and never place your hand over the end of the forks or the adze. Okay? For the person on the axe, always keep your hands on the handle or the shaft. Never place your hand over the axe head, and it's best to keep your hand down on the handle of the axe, minimum 6 inches away from the striking head. And you'll notice that we have a piece of red tape here to delineate that distance. It's to prevent your hand from being pinched between the two tools if the axe deflects off the adze of the Halligan. And when striking the adze, always position the flat end of the axe perpendicular to the Halligan to maximize the surface area to strike the tool and avoid deflection, and we'll demonstrate that. When getting ready to pry, by moving the Halligan towards the door, the firefighter on the Halligan should always use open palm hands when prying to avoid pinching hands between the door and the tool. Okay, so those are just some safety considerations before we get started. We're going to start with the outward opening door evolution, and we'll get started. We're going to read it step by step so that the procedure is clear and you know what the expectations are during the evolution. So step one is going to be to size up the door. What material is the door made of? What is the door frame made of? Is it set in a normal frame structure? Is it set in concrete? Do you see any additional hardware or lag bolts indicating a drop bar or some other device that's going to make it harder to enter? You need to size it up and take those considerations into your actions. Okay, step two, once you've done the size up, is insert the adze between the door and the door frame. Step three, drive the adze in until it hits the door jamb or you feel it is at the appropriate depth. You should notice a sound difference when the adze is against the frame. Avoid driving the adze into the door jamb. Okay, so we're going to do step three now.
Set, strike, 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 stop.
Okay, step four. Begin pulling back on the fork end to manipulate the adze to pass through the door and door jamb while still driving the adze forward. Drive the entire blade of the adze in until it's no longer visible. Ensure the adze is around the entire door. If not, on metal doors you risk splitting the skin and you lose that structure of the door.
Strike, 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 stop.
Okay, step five. At this point, you can pry up and down using the adze to enlarge the gap or crush the door. If necessary, advancing a wedge or axe in the gap to save the gains while you steadily manipulate the Halligan to enlarge the gap until you're ready to force the door. The goal is to drive the entire length of the adze between the door edge and the door frame. On wood frame doors and steel frame doors that are not installed in masonry type walls, you should have no problem getting a good gap. For steel frame doors encased in masonry walls, you'll have no choice but to crush the door.
Set, strike, strike, stop.
Okay, step six. pull the fork end away from the door, applying leverage to the adze and forcing the door, and I'm going to get out of the way. And you'll notice he also did step 7, which is he maintained control of the door with his body as he was forcing it. And that completes that evolution. So that's exactly what we would like you to do. And we're going to just take a break here, and then we'll do the inward opening door.